Governor Andy Beshear held his first Team Kentucky briefing of the month this afternoon. He made several important announcements there.
And among them, updates on our communities recovering from devastating storms in both western and eastern Kentucky. WKYT's Jeremy Toms has the latest in our top story at 4:30.
Governor Andy Beshear says a housing crisis already faced the Commonwealth before December of 2021.
We needed more housing options for Kentuckians. The tornadoes made that need for housing even greater.
2.5 years on, they're working towards building back those communities and putting roofs over people's heads.
December 11th was probably the worst day in Warren County. We lost 17 lives and hundreds of homes. We talk a lot, the 12th, 13th, 14th, and now into July of 2024 are some of the best days, and today continues that.
Governor Beshear announced $9.5 million going to Bowling Green and Warren County to build 128 affordable homes. That comes on top of a $223 million investment announced last month to build 953 rental units across the impacted region.
While Governor Beshear says their work will go on in western counties, he also had announcements for eastern Kentucky, where many communities continue to recover from devastating flooding events.
We still have folks that are homeless. We have folks that are still living in their neighbors' guest homes or in basements.
People are still living a difficult reality in Floyd County as we near the 2-year anniversary of flooding there. But Governor Beshear says they're putting $1.5 million into replacing local water lines, bringing clean drinking water to their communities. And he says many more improvements are still to come.
You are going to see a whole lot this fall and moving into the winter as that toughest of work is now being completed.
In Frankfort, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Next week, a disaster recovery housing intake event is being held in Floyd County for those interested in homes being built outside the floodplain. Governor Beshear said he expects more updates to come for communities affected in Perry and Knott counties as early as next week.
Well, it's